Hey everybody, this is Devil Dog underscore 88. Devil Dog underscore 88. Let's have that conversation. Freaky Friday. That is what today is. Freaky Friday. Open chat. Let's ask whatever is on your mind as to what is going on in today's crazy world. What are your opinions and thoughts on Nancy Guthrie and everyone else? Welcome everybody. Come on in. Today is Freaky Friday, where we talk about anything that you have on your mind. Kenny first. Kenny is the first one in the house. Good to have you, Kenny. What say you? How are you doing, my friend? Let's have that conversation. So, what's on your agenda today, Kenny? What is I am good. You not too bad, Kenny. Not too bad. Just today is that Friday that everybody looks forward to. Unfortunately, this is the day where we just talk about anything that's on your mind about what's going on in the news, dealing with the unaliving of what is happening in our society. And if you want to talk about Nancy Guthrie, then let's talk about Nancy Guthrie. What say you, everybody? Ask away. So, what's on your mind, Kenny? What's going on? Nancy Guthrie has been missing 95 to 96 days, depending how you want to look at it. Still no answers. Still, according to some, still no leads. Still no suspects, if you will. But we know that's a bunch of BS because we went over a lot of potential suspects that should be talked to. Jody, hello. Been excited all day for second live. Hope you have a good day. You too, Jody. Thank you. I just listen mostly. I've been in true crime for many years, and I learned that it's rarely what our theories are, and it often takes years to solve. That is very true, Kenny. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But we can at least put a little bit of spin into what we see, as someone from the outside looking in. We'll never get those true facts that we're wanting because the FBI and Pima County is not going to give it to us. So we got to come up with our own way of trying to fill that void to figure out what really happened, what took place, what went on. And I think with everybody's opinions, that usually helps, at least makes it interesting to try to figure out who, what, where, when, and why. That's the big key right there. Who, what, when, where, and why. Groundsky, hello to everyone. Good to have you, Groundsky. So lately, the talk behind the scenes, and when I mean behind the scenes, I'm talking about people that should know and probably know a lot more than what's going on, have been saying there is no leads, there is no people of interest. Jody says, did you happen to watch the latest from Monk's Intrigue? It fits the doors being propped open and why. Yes, I did. Actually, I just did a little bit ago. I watched it a little bit ago where he was talking about how and why they would have had the doors open with the two-wheel cart that he was talking about that Mark the Shark had actually got on his drone footage. Yes, I did watch that. It was very interesting, no doubt about it. Very good take. And that's why I like Monk, because Monk goes outside, kind of like also like Sleuth, but especially Monk. He talks in a story like way where he goes out there and he brings you into that story. He can put you in that point of what is happening or what is a good possibility of what's happening. And that sometimes makes all the difference in the world. Good evening, everyone, says Bridget. Good to have you, Bridget. Did you all see? I got a message from, I think it was Tanya, April Tanya. It was one of the mods, and they had said that that 857 Tucson went ahead and took our little dog picture that we had, that we put on our thing, and literally put a thing underneath saying something to the effect of, this is the dog talking to nanos. It was really funny, no doubt about it. I don't know if you guys seen that or not, but actually 857 went ahead and put it out there on his stream. It was very interesting. So I don't know if you all got it, but you need to watch it. It was hilarious. And the look on 857 Tucson was priceless. I mean, I ain't seen 857 smile like that in a long time. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It was funny. It's the one that a lot of you have been commenting on. Yes, and the drone footage from Mark was way after showing the hand truck. Yes, no doubt. No doubt. That is fact. I mean, it made sense in everything he was saying, no doubt. But I'm not sure there's a time when he doesn't make sense, because he's always making sense. Monk is. And he just, like I said, he has a good way of presenting this information that really captivates the moment and can put you right there in that moment. Yes, I seen the short. It was funny, no doubt. Just to see 857 and laughing and smiling like that, yeah, it was pretty good. That made me feel pretty good, no doubt about it. But kudos and thanks to 857 for going ahead and putting that out on his live. That was very, very cool of him to do. Much appreciation. So that's what's happening behind the scenes, is that the word is there is no suspects. I don't buy that one bit. There is no information. There is no leads. And I don't buy none of that, because we just sat here and talked about so many different leads, so many different possibilities, so many things that were happening that should have been checked, so many things that literally could have literally happened the way we presented it. And yet it's like nothing. Hey, Devil Dog, happy Friday. You got it, Sleuth Fairy. Happy Friday. It just makes no sense, right? I mean, the idea that they can say, well, there's nothing there. We don't have a suspect. We don't have a lead. Now, honestly, I think it's a bunch of BS, because I think there's a lot of leads there. And I think they do have people of interest in mind. They just haven't been able to literally put those pegs in the right holes, if you will. They think we're all stupid out here, or they're stupid. I think it's more like they're not very smart. No doubt about it, Bridget. Totally agree with you. The idea that we can cover everything that we have covered so far, and how anybody could come out and say, "Oh, there's nothing there. We just, there's nothing there." It's ridiculous. It is just damn ridiculous. You know, we have so many pictures of so many different people of interest that it'll make your head spin. And so does a lot of other streamers, for that matter. They have a lot of pictures and theories that really make sense. And yet, how does this just fall on deaf ears? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Almost like, when something like this happens, when we come into a point where you have something with so much stuff going on, so many different anomalies happening at the same time, right? When you have that, Yeah, no, there, right? Says Bridget. It's like when you have so many things happening, right? And you have so much, uh, I'm not going to say solid information, but you got a lot of theories. And then all of a sudden, literally, you have all these theories and there's nothing to go with it. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. I mean, think about it. Think about the idea that they call the search off in 48 hours. Think about that for a minute. Nanos calls the search off after 48 hours. Are you kidding me? He searched for not even really 2 days because the 48 hours started at the time when the call came in. Think about that. And again, if they were to connect the dots with hand truck, why not take it in evidence? At least take it in and check it. I agree with you, Jody. They couldn't overlook the tracks and driveways. And like Monk showed, they went to the front of the property. I mean, it's a no-brainer. What's it going to hurt? What else are they doing? What else are they checking? I mean, it makes no sense. Hey, Bridget says, and release the house back to the family 2 days after. So this is just blows my mind. So in 48 hours from the time the call was come in that they called when Annie and Tommaso called 911, okay? From that moment, okay, 2 hours, the 48 hours is all about that, okay? They were searching, not elbow to elbow like you really need to do, not literally like elbow to elbow with a big search team. Okay, that's how you search areas like Arizona, the desert, because they could be hiding anywhere. They could have put that body anywhere. And instead of being elbow to elbow, you have people that are so spread out. Yeah, like it's not going to be missed, really. And then after that 48 hours, less than 2 days of search time, come out and say, you know, we're calling the search off. Why would you do that? And no doubt about it, Princess, there's definitely evidence in the house. I guarantee there's evidence in that house somewhere. I mean, they should have swabbed so many swabs should have been done that it would have took bags of swabbing to get some type of evidence, but it was there. It had to be there. I mean, the suspect or the perps that were involved, the one that had the bite light in his mouth, that's DNA. I mean, good DNA. Yeah, and they went back like 2 weeks later. Mark has footage, I think, of them searching a manhole, a back of her property. Should have been done sooner, no doubt. No doubt. That's my point. 48 hours and you're going to call off the search. Who in the hell? And how do you even call that a search? 48 hours. What? You have like what? X amount of people spread out, not elbow to elbow, not arm length apart, but literally gaps in between. And you're going to tell me that's a search? Seriously? The idea of what was missed, what could have been missed, and then to release the house back to the family after 2 days? Are you kidding me? After 2 freaking days, you're going to release that house back to the family. Only to come back 2 days later and put crime tape all the way around the house. Not around the whole property like they should have, but around the house and the front of the property. Really? That considers a search? That's embarrassing. That is just, for anybody in law enforcement will tell you that's embarrassing. How do you even have the audacity to call that a search? I mean, seriously, how do you call that a search? Bridget says it's insane. Almost like they didn't want to really find Nancy. I hate to say that, but that's the impression I get. I'm starting to feel like almost like they didn't really care if they found her or not. They just had to say they went through the motions. Jody says, one's got to wonder what the family was thinking. Like, are you sure they're sheriff? You do a sufficient job. Princes should be charged. If anything, be charged for stupidity. I know it's not a charge, but man, make up that charge. You know, you are being charged for stupidity, for being a moron. Because the reality is, how can you, in my opinion, how can you call that a search? It doesn't work that way. Groundsky, I still wonder about Cameron speaking about his being a kidnapping before there even was a kidnapping note. I agree. I agree. That was, uh, yeah, I agree. I mean, maybe it's in his wheelhouse, I guess. But to come off that off the cuff, I've said it before, maybe it's because of his knowledge and he's not like somebody who flies an F-16 is not somebody who just fell off the turnip truck, right? So I would give him the benefit of the doubt, but still to say yes, it was probably a kidnap for ransom. My gosh, I agree it was a kidnap for ransom, but to be a a child of literally Nancy and to be able to say that out loud, that's just crazy. You wonder where the mind was going. Why was it so on top of their mind? Maybe he had a good reason to call it that way. I don't know. And I can't judge a one of Nancy's children. They're not children, but one of Nancy's kids to actually say that. I can't judge them because of the time of the moment and everything that's going on. So you got to just leave it at face value. But yeah, it just strikes like, wow, like that came out of nowhere. Even though that's what I've thought all along, that it was a kidnapping and that it is a kidnapping for ransom. Bridget says it feels like they didn't really give a damn. I mean, it's hard not to say that because it's very true, Bridget. That's very true. And that's why it just doesn't make sense. With everything that was going on, with all the information out there, with all the coincidence that was happening, and we're going to say, yeah, there just wasn't nothing there. And then the excuse he gave on why he went ahead and canceled the search. Remember? Princess says, do you think they tried to get her to sign something and she refused? It's very possible. I mean, there were talks supposedly that was reported. I don't know if it's factual or not, but there was talks that she was going to be changing her will, that she was going to be changing things around. Uh, I don't know if it's true or not, but it would make sense. It would definitely make sense. Absolutely. And that could have been the moment they said either sign this or kapow, hurt her until her heart couldn't take it no more. Who knows? But that's a very good point, Princess. That's a very good point. Did they try to get her to sign before they were going to do what they were going to do with her? Whatever that may have been. Did she recognize who they were? Did she get a sense like, oh, that's so and so? Oh, I know that eyes. I know that face. I know who's standing in front of me. Did she know? She probably well knew. Bridget, very possible, Princess. It just makes no sense. And the idea going back to the canceling of the search, after 48 hours, what is that? I mean, really, what is that? People started walking up to the house. They started walking around the house. They were taking video and pictures and whatnot until 2 days later when they went ahead and went ahead and literally put up the crime tape again. At first I thought it was family, but after seeing the similar guy at the other house days before, that ruled out family for me. It's very possible. I'm still leaning. I'm still leaning that there's some type of connection with a member and or member of the family. And the only reason I'm saying that is because, my God, to hold a car for 41 days to take out the transponder, transmitter, or whatever the hell you want to call it, that records all that data, that tells me they were going through all that information to see where this car was at. And my guess is they just couldn't put who was driving that car at that moment. She could have been found and is in protection custody somewhere, says Falls. It's very possible. I mean, there's the conspiracy theories, right? Those are the theories that are out there that maybe she is alive. I don't buy that for 1 minute that she's alive. I think she is totally unalive. And but the fact of the matter, it could very well be false, no doubt, for sure. Bridget, 857 Tucson. That was interesting, no doubt. Princess, 100%. I mean, the idea that literally, I mean, go and look. And I agree with Kenny what he's saying. I understand where he's coming from. But you start looking at even the individual that we were talking about earlier, okay? The guy, the double backpack guy, and you look at him and you look at the porch guy and you look at what they were. Well, we know they were both carrying a bike light, right? We know that because they both had one that night, all in that same time frame, all within right there, very close to Nancy, all during that time circle. It looked like that individual had the same jacket on, the same structure of the head, how it fit the mask. How do you make that up, everybody? Could could it have been a laptop in the bag? Honestly, Princess, I have no idea what the hell it could have been. I just know that the person that we talked about earlier, the double pack guy, the one that was going towards the Kia Soul, and the person literally at the porch, they looked identical. They looked like they had the same clothing. They looked like they had the same backpack. They both had a bite light. They both had something white coming out of their pocket, which could have been the pew pew. They look like, I mean, they look pretty damn close to the same. And yet, I'm hearing behind the scenes that they don't even have a suspect in mind. That front door mat could have had other stuff on it, no doubt about it, Barb, than the red stuff that belonged to Nancy. They should have taken that mat. The carelessness and the not focusing and the people who knew better, like the sheriff himself, if we would have took this seriously, like himself, to sit there and say, take that mat. I mean, my God, all you got to do is walk around and go, because he knows his team is young, right? He knows that they don't have a lot of literally they don't have a lot of experience, right? Probably about 10 months to a year at the most. So he knows that. So as the sheriff, you got to be able to either put the most seniorest persons with experience to say, "Hey, go ahead and bag that, tag it, tag that mat, tag that over there." Have the crime scene when they're running DNA tests and forensics and all that crazy jazz. Why not just literally swab everything? Something's about to hit. Because something went wrong in that house. Something went wrong. And I guarantee you there's DNA there somewhere, in my opinion. Jody says, I think there was pressure possibly to get her to move in with them and sell her house. They had a property survey done day before, I think, to build a casita for her. No doubt, it was almost like they were doing everything to get everything done because the day before, or the day, should I say, after they did the survey is when she went missing. So they did the survey. And then the very next day, she went missing. Maybe she told them, pound sand, I'm not moving here. I'm staying in my home. You guys need to figure it out, how to pay your bills. But I'm not going ahead and moving. I mean, that could have been the camel that literally broke the camel's back, as they say. Bridget, you skipped some messages. Sorry, let me go back up. Barb, that front doormat could have been had. The red stuff that belonged to Nancy, they should have taken. Princess, could it be a laptop in the bag? Honestly, I really don't know. I didn't see really any edges, like the edging on the outside of the laptop. So therefore, I can't really say because I didn't. It looked like it was kind of round, the backpack. So I would think you would have seen like the corners of the frame of the laptop sticking out. Um, she could have been found in protective custody somewhere. Yes, she could have been. I don't see anything here, Jody. I think there was pressure possibly to get her to move in with them. Yes, I very agree. I don't see me skipping anybody here. Lisa's in the house. Saw said hi's in the house. Good to have you both. Falls. When has the DNA been in all of this? Where has the DNA? We haven't heard anything from her. DA. Where has the DA been in all of this? We haven't heard anything about the DA. We haven't heard anything. No doubt about it. Nothing. Zero. Crickets. I mean, it just makes no sense. Paige, Falls, Jody, Lisa, Jody, Princess. Crazy, crazy. The DA hasn't. I haven't seen the DA at all. Gronsky, Ronald Lopez, two backpack guy is a huge person of interest in my opinion. I agree. I mean, hell, at least talk to him. At least talk to him and find out, what he knows. Talk to him. Find out what his story was. Why? Why was said what it said? Why was he there doing what he was doing? We are almost at 100 days, says Jody. And still we're hearing from the back channels behind, apparently, that they don't have literally a person, a suspect. They don't have anything, is what they're saying. I find that hard to believe. Brenda, so sad to use your parents should be helping her. No doubt about it. That goes without saying. No doubt, Brenda. Thank you for being here. Gronsky, hello, Lisa Falls. Hit that like and subscribe, please. Hit that like and subscribe, everybody. Let's get that algorithm going. Barbara, it also seems strange to me that the family didn't make more of a stink about searching and getting evidence for the property, especially since Cameron seemed to have some criminal knowledge. That is true. Very true. Very, very true. And I mean, I know that Savannah was a lawyer in the past, but even in the lawyer aspect, you would think, man, I want a search team out here. If they don't want to give it to me, if Sheriff Nanos doesn't want to give it to us, then I'm going to hire somebody, or I'm going to go ahead and get a hold of Cajun Navy and see if they can come out and do it. They were ready to go. Cajun Navy wanted to come out and make it happen, look and search at their expense. But Nanos wouldn't have none of it. Matter of fact, what did Nanos say when he canceled the search after 48 hours? That he was doing it to protect people from being hurt or getting hurt or something to that damn effect. Marianne says, hi, DD. How you doing, Marianne? Welcome. Princess, family not talking about searching the area. All they had to do was call Cajun Navy and they could have just made it happen regardless. But Nano said, no, we got this. His arrogance and his pride and his stupidity literally became a hindrance in this case. No doubt about it. And anybody who didn't stand up and voice their opinion as the leaders of that department, and I'm talking about the brass, the lower echelon, and I'm talking from like lieutenants and captains and patrols and all that commanders, not being able to talk to him and say, you know, uh, Sheriff, probably want to go ahead and do this because, you know, we could have this whole big team come out and just squash this in a heartbeat as to go ahead and search and try to find Nancy. I mean, why would you give up help, especially from the Cajun Navy who has done this before? Princess, family, not talking about searching the area. Carolina girl, happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday, Carolina girl. Marion, Lopez had, Marion says hi. Ocean Wave says Ronald Lopez had the quick estate sale by Nancy and left for California. Go figure. Go figure, everybody. Ocean Wave says Ronald Lopez had the quick estate sale by Nancy and left for California. Why didn't they go ahead and talk to these people? And if they did, what the hell were they asking? Bridget, family not acting like a family searching for their mama. That's no doubt. I hate to say that, but it is true. I think people in the neighborhood may sell their house. Yeah, everybody but maybe Sue Ellen. No doubt, right? That's a good one, Princess. No doubt about it. Sauce says the family act like they have forgotten her. They moved on. That's what it appears to me. Now, I can't say what they're feeling inside. They're grieving and going through whatever emotions they're going through. But it sure as hell from the outside looking in, it does appear like that's the case. And you can't blame people for thinking that because that's what you're showing. That's what they're showing. If you all want to check it out, I wrote a poem for Nancy, posted it on Dee Dee's chat from this morning, and it was awesome, Falls. I read it and it was great. You all need to check that out when you get a chance. It's a poem that Falls wrote in reference to Nancy. It was very heartwarming, no doubt about it. And I know Nancy would be very proud, Falls. No doubt about it. Barb, why didn't nonads let Cajun Navy search? They are even willing to come back. What is happening with that? I think Savannah has to stand up. The family as a whole has to stand up and say, hey, we want them out there searching. And if you're not going to go ahead and do this, then we're gonna go ahead and have them come out as a family. They can do that. They can do that if they want. All they have to do is call them. And there's not a damn thing Nanos can do about it. They could call the Cajun Navy and say, hey, we want you guys to search. Even though it's 95, 96 days later, hey, at least we can say we did everything we could. But that's something that Nano should have done from the get-go. No doubt about it. Gronsky, exploring what Jim would love to have more help with the search, but he keeps going anyway. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing, no doubt about it. Soaring Energy, hey Chad, hey DD, it seems like they are trying to float a new narrative that Nancy's still alive. Don't buy it for 1 minute, Soaring Energy. And you're right, they are trying. I've been hearing a lot of that lately. Not buying that a minute. But you know what? If they're going to say that, then they better get their ass out there and start searching again. And they better let Cajun Navy and other groups that want to come in and do this searching. If you think she's alive, then why not go out there and search? If you think she's put in some type of place where they're holding her, then go out and search. You can't say, and this is me saying it to literally the powers to be. You can't say on one hand that, oh, maybe she is alive. We think she could be alive. Well, then if you think she's alive, then you need to be searching. Because the only reason you would not search is if you thought she was unalive. And then you'd have to give the reason why you thought she was unalive. Because you sure is not going to fly that 48 hours later and you made that determination that she's already gone. Really? So if they're going to say that, which they have been saying that, then get your ass out there and bring in the Cajun Navy or bring in these other elements that are out there, these search teams that would love to come in and help. Why is Nano holding that back? And furthermore, for that matter, why is the family not calling themselves and saying, "Bring it in. Let's make it happen"? Ocean Way says, "In my opinion, Nano's a perp." I mean, he doesn't make it easy on himself, and he sure makes it hard on the family and everyone who is trying to find Nancy. That is for sure. Groundsky, the value of the property around there may have gone down some now. Marianne, Dee Dee, skip me laughing out loud. Marianne, where you at? Hang on a second, Marianne. There, I'm going down, going back up, or should I say I'm going back up. Marianne. I said hi, Dee Dee is the last thing I got is hi, Dee Dee, Marianne. I said hi, Dee Dee. And that was there. And then Princess had a comment. And then Carolina Girl. Then Ocean Waves, Bridget, Princess, Sauce, Falls, Barb, Groundsky, Soaring Energy, Ocean Waves, Groundsky again, and then Marianne. Dee Dee skipped me. I didn't skip anybody. Sorry. I read it may have not come out. Repeat it. Go ahead and repeat it, Marianne. Thank you, Paige. Go ahead and repeat it, Marianne. They need to sell that house. Yeah, and they can't sell anything until they declare her literally unalive. And they can't declare her unalive. It's going to take a while before they do that. Princess says, never be the same. Barb says, skip me too. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys. Be careful what you write and how you write it because it could be YouTube. I'm reading them as they come up. Falls, I don't want the house touched just in case family has involved for money reasons. Marianne says, no problem. Princess, ook. Soaring Energy, they are trying to head off masses that it is all EKAF. I spelled it backwards. Yep. This time because that last time I spelled it the right way, you didn't see it. There you go. There you go. Good deal, Soaring Energy. What a catch that. You guys see that? She spelled it backwards, the word, and yeah, it let it take it. So for some reason, the word FAKE is not being allowed by YouTube. It was hidden because of filters by YouTube. Thank you for that information, Soaring Energy. Mary Ann, I know we are looking for a male. What if it's a female? It could be a female. I mean, a lot of people and even ourselves have talked about how that person in the front does have appearances of the eyes and the eyelashes and whatnot that it very well could be a female. I mean, you can go back to who was that lady, Falls? The lady that you looked up all these people's names. I got the picture. I just can't think of the name offhand. But she had all the names were like alias names. Could have been her, the lady that used to stay there at that casita behind Nancy's house by the pool house. Marianne, I know we are looking for a male. Marianne, I'm there with you. Tina Abanasi, thank you. Thank you, Falls. Tiba Abanasi. It looks like it could be her even. She has that build. She has that kind of face structure. Not saying it's her. I'm saying, in my opinion, it looks like it could be. That perp had more than one layer of pants on. You can see it. Maybe it was a female at this point. Who knows? Very well said, Barb. No doubt. Bridget, Marianne, I agree. I've thought about that many times. I mean, we got a couple of people of interest, right? That are female. We got Kiki out there, in my opinion. You got uh, LD out there. I'm sorry, not LD, KD out there. Okay? You have that person that looks like that person could fit the bill. So it's not out of the norm to think that there wasn't. I still say there was two male, one female, or possibly three male and one female. I'm still sticking to that until proven wrong. Soaring Energy, could you imagine they produce and find the missing lady because she was hidden the whole time? Yeah, yeah. I'll be the first one to say, hey, you know, because I think she's unalive, but I'd be the first one to say, hey, I was wrong, no doubt about it. But here's the thing, you know what gets me more is that we're hearing that more often, that she is still possibly alive, but we're not sending any search team out there. We're not having the Cajun Navy out there. Why? If you think she's alive and you think she's being held somewhere, why not send the search team out there? Why not bring back the dogs? I get it, it rained. I get it, a lot of the scent is gone. I get it that, that a lot of the terrain has been messed with by people going out there and by the waters and all this different thing. I get all that. But you still could get lucky and you still could find it. And here's the kicker: you have people that are willing to do this. You have nonprofit organizations that are willing to go ahead and do this. So why are you not allowing it to happen? Especially if you think that she is still alive. Makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. And the family needs to come out and they need to demand that Nanos, they need to just call the Cajun Navy and say, hey, we want you to search. What Nano's going to do? No, you can't. He's going to tell that to Savannah. No, you can't have them search. BS on that. You know that he can't do that. In public opinion, he would be destroyed even worse than he already is. Marianne, I agree. I thought about that many times. Soren, could you imagine falls and she is electrical engineer? Yes. Talking about Tina, what was her name? No, Abanasi. Yes. So who would better know how to go ahead and know what wires to cut? Remember, the electrical box was messed with. Remember the jammers. Remember hearing about jammers possibly being used. Remember people missing some of their footage on their cams. I mean, that doesn't all happen by accident, folks. And then to happen literally on the day, not the day before, not the day after, not a week before or a week after, but that same day when she goes missing, that's when they're having electrical problems. That's when they're having issues. That doesn't happen by accident, and that's not a coincidence. That is a planned technical step that they are taking, the people who did this. No doubt about it. Soren rewrote it, said that the lady instead of Nancy. The lady instead of Nancy. Unreal. Marianne, it's LDK and A. I mean, I could see that. I could very well see that. Very, very could see that. It's very probable. So if we can see this, that it's very probable, why are they not bringing them back in and re-questioning them? There's so many questions you could ask. I get it that people may say, well, they already were questioned. Obviously not good enough. Let's bring them back in. Not let's. They need to bring them back in and follow up with some more questions about things that have come to light. Things that may have come to surface that could have been or might have happened. Sheriff's still going to get the credit. He'll still get his little pat on the back. But go with the things that you have literally heard people talk about, because I'm hearing a lot of people talk about things that really do make sense. And they do have legs. They have credence. My God, you're talking about a human being. Gronsky, an electrical person, would also know about the Nest cams as well. Absolutely. Fan Flower, happy Friday afternoon, Devil Dog, and everyone, Crazy Hills, no doubt. That's what they ought to call Catalina Foothills, Crazy Hills. Seems like nothing but crazy up there. Gronsky also has he knowledge to you electromagnetic magnets to jam Wi-Fi and interfere with pacemaker. Very possible. Very, very possible. That's if in fact she even made it back to her home, right? I mean, we really don't even know that. There's no evidence that she made it back to their home. It makes no sense. Barb, families should be grateful that people want to spend their time and money to look for their mother. All we get is crickets. Step up, family. You got to step up. You got to make that call to Cajun Navy. I don't think, in my opinion, I do not think the Sheriff Nanos has this family in their best interest. I just don't see it, in my opinion. Tina Brown, maybe Nanos knows she was drugged, and maybe that's why he doesn't want her to be. It's very possible. That's a very good point, Tina. Welcome in, no doubt about it. That's a very plausible scenario. This is getting close to the matter. Bridget, that's right, Barbara. I mean, think about it. But even then, you're probably not thinking you're going to have a feisty person giving you a hard time, right? You're probably thinking you're not going to have somebody of 84 years old that's going to give you a difficult time until they do. And then you're like, oh, and then everything goes to shit, for a better lack of words, right? So what then? It's very possible that she became unalive in the house. She never made it to the house. And you say, well, how about the disconnection? Maybe they severed that connection. As gross as that may sound, maybe they severed that pacemaker. We just don't know. We really, truly just don't know. It just doesn't make any sense, everybody. And once again, you have people that want to help, and you have people that are spending their day in and day out, trying to figure this out, and yet nothing. Crickets, zero. How do you explain that? How do they explain that? You know, what's it going to take? Nanos to be canned so someone else can come in and say, let's start at the beginning? I mean, hey, I'm all good with that. If they want to move on from Nanos and they want to bring somebody in that says, hey, guys, we're going back to the beginning, hell, go back to the beginning. You may not be able to get a lot of stuff that you should have got before, but you're still able to go ahead and get something because you'll be doing something instead of doing nothing, in my opinion. Bridget says Savannah described her mother as feisty in one of her interviews. She did. She said she was feisty. She said she may not have been the most mobile, but she was a feisty. She would do everything she could to put up a fight. And you know what? There's no doubt in my mind that she did. I hate to say this, but is the reality of life today. I hate to say this, says Paige, but this is the reality of life. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. That's what we've come to. I mean, we don't, it's almost like people, I shouldn't say people, some people don't value life like it means anything. Like it's easy just to say, shit happens. Oh, you know, life goes on. It's easy to say those things until it's literally you going through that situation. And then it's not easy to say anymore, you know? So and I say this because of everything in her actions and her behavior and everything since this case has happened shows the defiance of someone who just really doesn't care, in my opinion. And yet, they're neighbors. You would think they would care about one another. But that's not how people see it in today's world, I guess. Morals and values are different now, in my opinion, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, that has changed tremendously. The fact of the matter is, if you think she's alive, then go ahead and bring in the Cajun Navy because they're still willing to come in. As of, I think I heard within the last 10 days, they have literally, and it may have been a little bit longer, a little bit less, but they have said that they are still willing to come out and give it a shot searching. But they haven't got the okay from Nanos. Why, Nanos? What are you waiting for? What is the problem? What is the malfunction, as some would say? Money and power have prevailed, in my opinion. It's what it looks like. We are poor folk. No counts. I mean, that's pretty well said. No doubt about it, Paige. The less never get what they're asking because they're just that. They're less than. They're not important. That would be wonderful if we found her alive. It would be great. It would be the story like no other. And there's nothing more than I would love to see as her being found alive. That would be such a miraculous. And yes, it is possible. It is very possible. It is very unlikely, in my opinion, but it is very possible. But why not go ahead and if you think that there's that potential chance, why are you not turning over every rock in that desert? Literally. I don't mean figuratively, literally. Fan, they act like they are too good. It's so sad, because here's the thing. Today it's someone else, tomorrow it's you. Today it's someone else's loved one, tomorrow it's your loved one. And then what happens? I'm not so sure how even people that live in the Catalina foothills, the ones who have issues with the flowers, removing the flowers and all the people that are trying to just put out the story and continue to put out the story, why they are so against these people. Makes no sense. Tina, the family doesn't want her found because if they did, they would be asking people for help. I mean, it looks that way, no doubt about it, Tina. It does look that way. I mean, you can't blame anybody for thinking that when that's the first impression you get when you hear and see the things that are not being done and the things that you hear that are not being said. It's just common sense, everybody. When I was a kid, we slept with the front door open, no AC. Today, world, you can't even safely walk out of your front door. Well said, Carolina girl. That is so true. That is so true. Windows will be wide open. Maybe even if you're lucky, put a fan up there by the window to blow in that air and open another window on the other side so you can have that wave of colder air coming through your house if you were living a two-story. The idea is that, yes, we could do all those things back in the day. Now, you can't do nothing. It just makes no sense. Fanflower says, right, devil dog. Bridget, yes, they should want to turn that place upside down, so to speak. Yes, no doubt. I mean, leave no rock unturned. You know? I mean, listen, I know there's people out there that are doing whatever they can. Case in point, look at Riding with Jim. He's out there riding his motorcycle, trying to find, getting off, turning cardboards over, turning boxes, checking piles of dirt, and all this stuff. I get it. And that's one guy. Now, realistically, unless by the $1 million miracle, how do we expect that one guy is going to hit that needle in that haystack? Because that's what it is. If not even a needle, it's like a sliver of a sliver in a haystack. And you're supposed to think that what? That I mean, you understand what I'm saying? They need to do this and they need to do it right. And that means they need to get everybody out there. It doesn't make any sense. These people are willing to go out there. Barb says the Cajun Navy should contact the family directly and stop screwing around with nanos, no nads. I agree with that, Barb. I'm telling you, if I was Savannah and her siblings, I would say, hey, I would have a meeting amongst them and say, hey, let's call them out here. Let's see what it's going to take for them to get out here, and let's have them go ahead and search. I mean, we can talk numbers. It's not like Savannah doesn't have, some capital. We can all talk numbers. And if they're willing to do this and try to help find her, then maybe they even do it voluntarily because that's what they do. So, what is the big issue on why you would not want them out there? Are you serious? It makes no sense. Lisa Page, this is becoming very repetitive. Repetitive. No doubt about it. Marianne, yes, it is, Lisa. That's a good idea, Barbara. Everyone watched over one another when we grew up in the 60s and 70s. If you got in trouble by someone, money, you got smacked by her and then got it again when you got home. So true. I'm beginning to feel foolish. Look, all you can do is keep up the narrative because that's all you have. The voice is the only thing that someone cannot silence you. And you remember that. Your voice is the only thing people cannot force you to be quiet. You can continue to use your voice for the best that you can use it for whatever that is. So as long as people continue to voice their views and opinions, you know, that's going to keep this going. Eventually, it's going to come to a head, no doubt. Eventually, it is going to come to a head, no doubt. But the reality is, no one can silence anyone's voice. That's the only thing you have left, as far as I'm concerned, in this country is your voice. Lisa Page, I'm beginning to feel foolish. Okay, dog, thank you. You're very welcome. Marianne, I'm getting really frustrated. Just got to figure out how. It's not even about who did it anymore. It's just about how was she taken? Where could she have been taken? It's like, did they? It does. I don't really give a hoot about was it the front door or the back door. I don't care about that no more. I don't care about was it did they wheel her out or did they carry her out or did they drag her out? I don't care about that either. All I care about is who are the potential people that could have done this, and are they being talked to? Are they being investigated? Are they being brought in to be interviewed? That's all I care about because the dynamics of how she was taken, or which door she came out of, or whether she was dragged or carried, doesn't mean crap anymore. It really doesn't. At this point, it's all about who are the potential people that could have done this, and are they being investigated? Are they being literally interviewed? That's all I want to know because that's the only thing that's going to make sense at the end of the day. At some point, though, we have to move on. Yeah, that's true. That is true. The reason a lot of YouTubers keep talking about this is to keep them from sweeping Nancy under the rug, says Bridget. Totally agree. How long can we sustain this? I don't know, Paige, honestly. I guess the big question is how long, if Nancy, if Nancy is alive, how long can she sustain it? And at what point do we give up? At what point does she give up? And if she's unalive, then hey, I would like to think that she fought a good battle. No doubt about it. Tina, because I believe Savannah already knows what happened to her mom. I believe she hired a private investigator. Very well could have. Very well could have, no doubt. Very well could have. And if she's smart, she would have. Tina, absolutely. Hey, says Tina, absolutely. Marianne, I agree, Tina. That's why she went back to New York. I mean, you would think, you just would think realistically that there would be more being done. And yet, now we're hearing the FBI, Cash Patel is having, saying things, maybe some truth and some half truth. And you have Nanos probably saying more untruths than truths. And the reality is that when you start making this political, that's when you know you're done. You're not going to get anything because it's now political. It's becoming political. That's why Savannah is ignoring us all. I just don't understand. And I believe she already knows it was family. Very possible, Tina. I mean, at the end of the day, at some point, she's going to have to ask herself and then ask her siblings, why are they constantly going back to your house and looking into your house? Why did they keep your car for so long? I'm not, and that would be her saying, and I'm speaking like if I'm her, okay? Like I'm her. I'm not judging you, sis, brother in law, brother. I'm just saying, at what point do they stop coming to your house looking for more evidence? Why do they keep going around that circle? That's what I would be asking if I was Savannah. And yeah, the truth hurts. And she may not like the answer she get. And the fact of the matter, she may know already what she's going to hear. So to her, it's a moot point. Bridget says, well, Savannah could be nice enough to let the public know if she wants us to give up then. I agree with that, Bridget. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Everyone already knows in my theory, says Paige. Pretty much. You really can't blame Savannah for not saying anything. None of them are talking. That is true. But Savannah has the megaphone. And this is why I say that for Marianne. Savannah has the megaphone. She has the clout, she has the stature, she has the money. She has everything that it would take to literally get people's attention. You know what I mean? She's in the limelight. So Savannah could very well use her platform to literally push this out to have maybe Cajun Navy come in or to push that narrative out to get people to come in and search like other search parties that have done, other well known search parties like Cajun Navy. So the idea is that because she has that platform, because she has that, I hate to say it, but the money, and because she has the actual means of being able to get people to see, people are going to listen to her if she's talking to the right people. And if she's not talking to the right people, well, then, yeah, it's definitely who do we expect is going to come out to the forefront and speak on the behalf of Nancy. You're not hearing it with the other daughter, and you're not hearing it with the other son. No disrespect to them, but you're not hearing it. You're definitely not hearing it from the son-in-law. The great manifester. I mean, my God. Lisa says Savannah is a very private person, in my opinion, and doesn't feel any obligation to us creeps. That could be true. That could very well be true. Tina, and she's just staying away from her family. She may have already severed ties. She may have already said, you know what? I don't want nothing with you can have everything. I don't want nothing. I have my memories of mom, and that's all I need. You guys can have everything else. I couldn't care two shits. Because the reality is, she does. As long as she has that in her heart, those memories, then to me, you can't take those away. No doubt about it. Soaring Energy, from the beginning, I thought this case was created to distract from the files of Jeffrey. Very well could have. And that's not out of the picture either. Marianne says, okay. I guess I'm different. If I suspect my sister and brother in law, I'd be knocking the hell out of both of them. Says false. I agree. I understand. I'm just trying to be a little civil here. But no, you're right, Falls. You're right. Bridget, yes, I can because she should be saying and doing more and tell people and should to tell people to not give up. Lisa, we do not matter in the big scheme of things. Pretty much. I mean, we don't have any say so in any of this. Lisa, religion falls is I don't know. Falls, I guess, Lisa, don't know. I don't know means I don't know. Bridget, I don't know. It's I don't know. Bridget, me too. Falls. I agree, says Princess. Fan says, right. Think they know. Just so sad they won't stand up for their mother. Thanks to all the folks that care and that are out there. Amen. No doubt about it. Well said, fan. Well said. And that's really where it's at. Look, no one can get the family to do what we think should be done. It's going to have to come from the family to put the pressure on. And if the family's going to stay quiet because they don't want to know the truth in a sense that they don't want to think maybe it's another family member or they don't want to know the truth as in who could have been involved, well, then that's on them. That's on them because they're never going to, we can't make that happen. Only they can make that happen. Only they have that power to direct the course of where this whole investigation goes. They have the power. So it's either man up and say what you want to say, or you can't expect the people to be the ones who are trying to find the answers when the family has the power to ask for those answers. They just haven't been speaking. That's the best way I can put it, if that makes any sense. Bridget, exactly, Flying Flower. As if religion somehow relieves those mothers of responsibilities. I don't know. Paige, it baffles me. I mean, you get what I'm saying? The reality is that they have to be the ones who calls this out to the public, to the sheriff. They have to be the ones. Instead of thinking, well, they're doing their best they can, they have to step to the forefront and say, hey, we don't like what's happening. I mean, picture Savannah and her siblings coming up to the forefront, and Savannah, being that because of the clout she carries, saying, "Look, we don't care what's happening. Your decision making is not really resolving in anything. We want people out here searching, and if Cajun Navy wants to come out here, we demand you let them come out here and search." And then it's a put up or shut up. Either the sheriff's going to say, "All right, Savannah, we can try to make this happen," or "No, we can't." And then he's even going to get more destroyed in the public opinion than he already is, right? I mean, but they have to push this. They have to push this. We do it because we know what it's like. We would know what it's like if it was our mom or our loved one, sibling. We would know how we would feel about it. More than likely, we would know where we would direction we would take it. But they have to be the ones that call this out, at the end of the day, because Nanos doesn't give two rats butt about the people like us that are screaming this from the top of our lungs. But if Savannah and her family are saying, Sheriff Chris Nanos, we want the Cajun Navy in here, we want this to happen ASAP, or bypass him and call Cajun Navy yourself and say, we want you to do this irregardless. Can you come out and do this? Then it's a matter of where it goes from there. Let the chips fall where they may. Oh, no doubt, Falls. This is definitely going to be talked to about for years to come. This whole last probably 20 years, they're going to be in the books like it's ever been in the books before. Literally, it's going to be there. And that's sad, no doubt, because you know it ain't going to be good. Life is so short, says Paige, no doubt about it. The older I get, the faster my time flies. Paul says, all criminals thinking, let's go to Tucson. We can get away with anything there. And that's the sad thing, because that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. When they don't solve cases like this, and they don't push the envelope on cases like this, then hell, the next person will come along and say, hey, I'm going to do it a little different, and I'm going to this time do it right and make some money. I'm going to go ahead and do a kidnapping. I'm going to go ahead and kidnap this wealthy individual or this person or this baby or whatever. You know, if you do it in Tucson, you're probably going to get away with it because they got away with it. I mean, that's why you can't let these things go unsolved, everybody. You just can't. Bridget, if Savannah wants us to give up on her mom, don't be asking the public to help and report things. Totally agree. Totally agree. I think at this point, honestly, to be honest, I think literally that the family needs to have literally come out and do a presser conference and say exactly that. You know, either thank you for keep searching for our mom. Thank you for continuing to search. We want your help. We need your help. We need the Cajun Navy out here. We need people who are willing to help us. Or to say, hey, everybody, we come to the conclusion that it is what it is. And at this point, let's just move on, as hard as that may be, right? Either one or the other, but say it out loud, openly in the public. I guarantee you, if Savannah says she wanted to have a press conference, every news station would cover it. Do you not agree? Every news station would cover it. And if she said those things or similar things like it, the people either would know where they stand. Should they continue, or should they just say, it's time to move on? One or the other, right? Because now you're going to know exactly where that family stands. Then there's no miscommunication there. Celtic Pat says, hey, Lisa Page, meanwhile, it is happening everywhere all around us. Violence and power and control situations that cause emotional and or physical harm. No doubt about it. It's becoming normal almost every day. I added that almost every day. No doubt about it. Falls, Lisa, 100%. Paige, I hate to be the negative one. I'm telling my truth. Well, it is the truth. It's everybody's truth. No doubt about it, Paige. I'm sure most of us feel that way. You know, it's just the fact that what do you do? This world is becoming crazy, power hungry. People want to control other people. People want to dictate to other people what they can and cannot do, what they can and cannot say, where they can and cannot go. You know what I mean? It's just a no-brainer. Nanos hasn't done nothing in this case that would justify his actions so far in searching for Nancy Guthrie and trying to find Nancy Guthrie, in my opinion. In my opinion, he hasn't done nothing, literally, of what I would expect a sheriff to do, in my opinion. A press conference telling us something would be nice and respectful. No doubt about it, Bridget. No doubt about it. It frees me. Falls, the little jerk from Iowa that killed 3 women. Yes, I heard about that one. And says it had to be done. So this little jerk, literally, from Iowa, well, from Utah. I thought, wasn't he from Utah? Or he came through Utah into Iowa. And he apparently his car broke down, his truck broke down. So what did he do? He went, slept at somebody's shed without them knowing, went into the house, waited till that owner got home, When she sat down, shot her in the back, or unalived her from the back, took her car, went to the next location, went to another part in Colorado or wherever. I think it was Colorado. Also went ahead, unalived two people there, took their Subaru. And when he was finally caught because of tracing the license plate through all these different gadgets and video cams from lights and all these different things that they have, when he was finally caught, he said this had to be done. This had to be. Why did this have to be done? But according to him, it had to be done. The things we're seeing in everyday life is so pathetic. And I know I probably got a couple of those things wrong, Falls, but the reality is that's where we're at today. That is exactly where we're at today in this world, you know? And it's probably even exacerbated a lot more since all of social media. We're now hearing it at real time. We're now seeing it at real time. We're now dealing with it at real time. I mean, we hear it all. We hear it all. And that's very troubling. Very, very troubling. Lisa says, don't hold your breath on that, Bridget. Tina, I don't think Savannah will not talk anymore because she already knows who did it. That's very possible, Tina. Very possible. Gronsky, today is Fishy Friday. No doubt about that. That does sound good right now, no doubt. I tell you, the one thing that I miss doing that I just started here recently and I fell in love with, but then I didn't pull away from it. I don't know. Maybe I just I don't know. It was my peace and my sanity was I love to go fishing. I love to go fishing. And that was a place where I could go and just listen to the ripples of the water and just fish and just don't care if I caught anything. But I was in my happy zone right there. Yeah, I do miss that. And I only bring that up because Gronsky says Fishy Friday. Pamela says, hello, Devil Dog, Maz, and Chad. Good to have you. Hello, Devil Dog, says Angela. Good to have you. Hi, Pam. Hi, Lisa. Angela. Hello again. Lisa says, Gronsky, yum. Falls, please hit that like and subscribe if you are new and you want to be a part of this channel and part of this common sense group. By all means, subscribe, hit like, tap them hearts and them emojis, everybody. Let's get that algorithm going. Angela, hello, Pamela. Celtic Pet, that was crazy. That was crazy. Pamela, hello, Angela. Bridget, oh, I want Lisa, says Bridget. Hi, Angela. Bridget with the hearts. Angela, hello, Brigadier. The gang's all here, DD. Hoorah, Semper Fi, everybody. Welcome, all of you. Devil pups, no doubt. It's one reason I give extra love to counteract the bad stuff I think. Well said, Paige. Well said. Janice, howdy, howdy. Good Friday. No doubt about it. Angela, Bridget, Vol says, it scares me that my grandbabies are growing up in this world. You and me both, no doubt about it, Falls. I'm sure all of us feel that same fear. Bridget, Angela, hi. Marianne, today is Fire Nanos Friday. That sounds good to me. I just wish he would do more than what he's doing because I don't think he's doing enough or nowhere near close enough. They told me to just treat people the same way I choose to be treated. Amen. Gronsky, Suzanne Kerwin, Hall, Seaside, California, missing March 20th. 140.56. Thank you for that. Thank you, Gronsky. I will definitely go ahead and try to remember that. If somebody wants to send me an email on that, I will look that up. Celtic Pat says hello. Old Falls, our grandkids don't know the old ways, so they will survive, in my opinion, no doubt. Great to have you in here, Celtic Pat. Lisa, two kids, this is the norm. What's the topic? Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday, Celtic Pat. Everything goes, whatever on your mind. Angela, bring Nancy home. Fanflower. Janice, I watch plenty of Walking Dead. I might survive. I used to watch Walking Dead. That was a good little series, no doubt. A long series, should I say. April, hi all. April's in the house. Good to see you all. Janice, oh my God. JKR laughing out loud says Celtic Pat. Janice, oh my God. Oh, IKR laughing out loud. No doubt. I can relate. Angela, hello, April. Falls, April. April dog. There is the email. If you got something you need to get off your chest or let me know, there's the email. Lisa says, hi, April, devil pup. Celtic, thank you, devil dogs. You got it, sweetheart. Thank you. God bless. Good to have you in the chat. Janice, Carol was my role model too. Just looked at the flowers. Angela, do we have anything new on Nancy? I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not, in all honesty. And I think we're going to need to literally, it's kind of hard to move on from this, right? Because this is so personal to all of us because we've dealt with this for so long. But we're definitely going to have to move on to other cases and still cover Nancy, still cover her. Not don't forget about her, but in the same token, give some attention to some other cases that are going out currently because there's a lot happening. I just looked up if there was any new information on Joanna Ruth Shields from Carlsbad, California, and yeah, the 37-year-old that was found unalive, face down in some water up by the oh, up there on the trails. Cannot even think of the damn mountain, but anyway, uh, she was found unalive, and they still have no further information. They're still waiting on the uh, toxicology report to find out how she was unalive. Was it maybe naturally or was it not naturally, etc. And yeah, so we're definitely keeping my eyes on that one as well. As far as the one in Ohio, they're still going through. They're waiting for their court to take place. So that one in Columbus with the Spencer and Monique Tepe case that were unalived by the Monique's ex-husband. That one is still, at least they got the suspect in jail, but that one's still waiting to see, when that goes to court. I'd like to go over there and cover that one. Because that's in Franklin County. Um, and there's many more that are happening. I mean, we just heard the one here, but of course they call this wacko, who unalived three people, you know. And there's many more. There's so many more that are happening. And we just need to start focusing on other things too. So send me the emails when you get them. If they happen in your neck of the woods, send me the emails. Let me know. At least we can bring their name up and get their name out there. You know, um, that's really the only thing we can do is keep people's names out there in hopes that somebody gets it and runs with it. Still haven't really heard a whole lot more about the what was the hooker, the two individuals, the one that fell into water and just kind of drifted away. They can't even find her body. Still no news for that either. I think that was in where was that, up in one of the resorts out there, and I don't know why, but out there in that area. Um, it's just sad to see all these things that are happening, but we're gonna definitely have to move so that we can keep everything going, because there's a lot of people that are needing that word to get out that their loved ones are either gone, missing, or unalive because of somebody. Fanflower, this family will go down in history, not in a good way. We say never give up. Amen. Paige, very funny, Angela. Celtic Pet, my mother is 84. It is so sad. No doubt. No doubt. What's happening to the elderly is so disrespectful. It's not even funny. No doubt about it. We feel like a broken record. This is getting depressing, the lack of information. And this is what people, this is what you would hear done when someone wants this case to go away. I'm not going to mention names, but this is what you would hear when a certain individual is not doing their job and doing it to the best of their ability, to go ahead and try to find, what happened to Nancy. I'm not saying that this person deliberately, maybe he doesn't realize how less of a job he's doing, but the reality is that this sheriff needs to step up and start doing some things that he should have done a long time ago. And I'm not even sure that that would even work out anymore. I think his days are numbered. In all honesty, I think they will force him to leave. Thank you, Falls. It was Big Sur, the Big Sur area. No doubt about it. Thank you. Maybe some other family would welcome our help. No doubt about it, Paige. We're definitely going to be starting to move forward. We're definitely going to start moving forward. We're not going to forget Nancy, and we're not going to stop talking about her. But I think that you're going to, until we get information, we're just beating ourselves up, ourselves as well, trying to keep something that is almost impossible to continue to how can I say, without going crazy, repeating the same things over. Hugs, Angela. Hugs, Lisa. Lisa, I feel your pain, Angela. Thank you. Fanflower, happy Mother's Day to everyone, to all of you moms. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. You guys, hey, God bless you all. And you all know who you are. Every one of you. You ever take forensic science? Celtic Pet, you ever take forensic science? Start reading some books to understand a little too much still. Yes, it's very, forensic science is very, very tedious. It's very meticulous, and it takes a long time to really understand the process of how to interpret and read different things, not just physically, but in between the lines. Because forensics is about all the mental, trying to read everything that you're seeing in front of you, right? Trying to process it all. So yeah, if you guys ever get a chance, yeah, absolutely, Celtic Pack. Good comment, no doubt about it. Paige, we just don't know. Angela, how's it been so long and we still have nothing solid? Celtic Pet, thank you, fan. Happy Mother's Day. Janice, this case can definitely become discouraging. Yes, it can, no doubt about it. We are like puppets right now, says Paige. Angela, never give up on Nancy. We'll never give up on her. We'll always talk about her, and we'll always bring up new information. But we do got to find and give out the message on other people that honestly have less than and have not gotten their voice heard. And we need to start searching. So if you guys come up with anything in your area, shoot me a message. Let me know, or not shoot me a message, shoot me an email. You all have my email. Let me know what's going on. I got a few here that came in. Were very shocking and to say the least as I was reading them. And I read everything. I do. I read every email. I get quite a few. Believe it or not, I get quite a few, and I read them all. Because I know it's important to you. It's definitely going to be important to me. All right, that's how it works. If it's important to you, it's important to me, and what's important to me should, when it deals with these type of issues, should be important to you. No doubt about it. That's what makes the group so solid. for whatever it's worth. Soaring Energy, DD, I feel like we got to keep the pressure so the family or whoever can't stop the truth from coming out. We're going to keep it up, Soaring Energy, no doubt about it. We're going to keep it up. It's just that we want to also give other people a voice that they're not getting. But we're not going nowhere. Nancy's still going to be the focal point. That's kind of what brought this group together, right? This group was brought together because of Nancy's situation and because we could all relate to it. So therefore, that's not going nowhere. That's like the hub, if you will, of this channel. But I want to be able to just, and you guys too, mention other people, things that are happening in your neck of the woods. And if you want me to cover something, send it to me, email it to me so that we can cover it. So that way you're also hearing the things from your neck of the woods, just like myself. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all, says Janice. Falls, check out the poem I wrote for Nancy and Dee Dee's chat from this morning. It was amazing, Falls, no doubt about it. I loved it, and I thank you for putting it out there. When you get a chance, everybody, make sure you read that. It is very heartwarming, and it's definitely speaks to the heart, no doubt about it. Thanks, Angela. Bridget, agree, Angela. And Fanflower, Angela, I wish they would give us something on the DNA. It would be nice. Either say you have something or just flat out tell us you don't have nothing. No beating around the bush anymore. Janice says, I have a yellow ribbon on my bedroom wall. Hope for Nancy. That is well said, and no doubt that is awesome, Janice. I know Nancy deep down inside in her heart of hearts would appreciate it. I know she does appreciate it. Fan Monk had a great show about the back door open to bring the hand trucks into the back to take her out in the front. No, I saw that and it was really good, Fan. It was really good. Somebody else commented it earlier, but it was really good. Interesting. And it doesn't fit, right? I mean, you see the car that was captured by Mark the Shark's drone, right? That little hand cart, pull cart, whatever you want to call it. You see it with that drone in the back, and you look at it at first look, it wouldn't even dawn on you. But then you combine and you take the little things you see, like the track marks in the front, like almost matching the wheels. And then even when Monk did the testing of the tire, remember that? And you remember that real dark uh, blood splatter that was on the front porch where it looked like somebody had taken a like a wheelie thing, like a pull cart, hand pull cart, and the tire looks like it matches the type of tire that he was looking at some point up in Harbor Freight. It was very interesting. I mean, that's why I like Monk because he does get into the details and into the weeds. No doubt about it. Bridget, that's nice, Janice. Jody, yes, Fanflower. Have a good one, guys. Thanks, Didi. You're pretty amazing. Thank you, Celtic Pet. You are amazing as well. The family is definitely winning, laughing out loud. No doubt about it. Janice, I'll check that out, Fanflower. 857 is interested in Holly Dasso. We got to keep that one talking about Holly Dasso. Holly Dasso, 37-year-old, also unalived out there by the railroad tracks in Tucson. That area was the transit area where they found her. It's just, and there's no word, no nothing. So that's another one. We have mentioned her before, but we have to really literally start talking about some of these cases so they don't get forgotten as well. I sent you the info. Thank you, Gronsky. I appreciate that. Soaring Energy, I don't think it's going to be much longer, honestly. I feel like within the month, something's got to give. Truth will be revealed. Amen. And let's pray that happens, Soaring Energy. Angela, yes, Holly Dasso. Let's start talking about Holly Dasso and get her name out there. Janice, I'm sorry an emergency has come up. Have a great weekend. You too, Janice. Thank you for being here, and God bless and happy Mother's Day. And let everyone you know happy Mother's Day from Double Dog _88. It'll be some big story. They find her, somebody releases her from being held. That would be awesome. Happy Mother's Day, ladies, no doubt. Angela, same to you. Janice, did Nancy walk with the walker? I think she had one, but I don't know if she used it all the time. I think she used a cane, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure. So that'd be something interesting to look at, no doubt. Take care, Janet, says Goski. Bridget, thank you, Falls. Fan flowers, prayers, Janet, Falls. You're welcome, Bridget. God bless everybody. Have a good weekend. I'm going to start looking up. I may take tomorrow off so that we can go ahead and try to do some research and figure out who we can also start looking up in other cases. But if something definitely comes up or something does, you hear something, that sounds very intriguing, either email me or I may just go live. Just check at 9 a.m. to see if I'm out and about. Because at this point, I want to be able to start doing some other work trying to figure out other cases that are going on, maybe even the Holly Dossel case. So let's plan on that. And but we're not going to forget about Nancy. Make no mistakes, everybody. That's what brought this family together, and that's what we got to do. Simple as that. Angela, someone knows something. Someone has been acting different than normal since Nancy disappeared. Amen. I agree, Angela. God bless everybody. Have a great day. Once again, happy Mother's Days to all. Always remember everything is common sense, everybody. God bless you all. Semper Fi. Fans, Semper Fi. Happy Friday, Devil Dog. Hoorah.